Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. On October 6, 2015, a peculiar video titled Allah and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in My Dreams appeared on my YouTube feed. Initially, I thought it was an odd title and watched the video only to discover that it was about an individual from Pakistan named Muhammad Qosim ibn Abdul Karim, who claimed to speak with Allah and Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in his dreams. The video was poorly edited, with a green screen and a Star Wars crawl-style text. This narrative included Qosim's conversations with Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala from behind the veil in his dreams. Immediately, I dismissed Qosim's message and closed the video. However, a year later, my curiosity was sparked by Qosim's persistence. I mean, this man was posting everywhere. IGN, GameSpot, Ummah.com, even some Christian forums, you name it. And so I dug deeper into his narrative. I came to know that he was talking about how Allah commanded him to share his dreams and how Allah wanted everyone to know who he was. He also spoke about World War III, Dajjal, Isa alayhi salam, Ya'juj Ma'juj, and events related to the end of times. And he even spoke about how he would be appointed as a leader of Pakistan. And he also claimed that he would remove darkness from the Muslim world and reinstate the true Islam within the Muslim Ummah. Then it clicked in my mind, we have another keyboard Imam Mahdi.
That I myself is Imam Mahdi.
But something about Qosim's message made me want to dig deeper. Initially, I thought he might be mentally unstable or under the influence of shaitan. However, I later discovered that a famous sheikh named Ben Halima had done a jinn catching on more than one occasion to determine if Qosim was under the influence of shaitan. To my surprise, he confirmed that Qosim was under no influence from the jinn and even encouraged helping him, saying he wouldn't make any public statements as he wanted to keep his work separate from Qosim's. Moreover, several doctors and psychiatrists tested Qosim's mental health and found that he was a normal individual. Despite this, I was left to wonder about Qosim's motives. I decided to research the hadiths to disprove Qosim and do my part as an ummati of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. After all, the Mahdi's name would match the name of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Qosim was not a name of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Right? Wrong. One of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's name was in fact Qosim, and Qosim's father's name, Abdul Karim, matches the name Abdullah, as they are theophoric names, and both mean slave of Allah, as Allah is also known by the name of Al-Karim. And so the hadith regarding the Mahdi's name and the name of his father correlated with that of Qosim's name and the name of Qosim's father. Then I said, okay, there is no way that the Mahdi would be a Pakistani. He will be an Arab from Medina and speak Arabic, and he wouldn't share his dreams, right? Wrong. To my surprise, I couldn't find a single well-known hadith that mentioned that the Mahdi would be an Arab or speak Arabic. In fact, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had said that the people of his household would face calamity, expulsion, and exile after he was gone, meaning they would be expelled from Arabia and go to other countries. To add to this, the descendants of Fatima radiallahu anha, who the Mahdi is supposed to descend from, married outside their race and culture, so it didn't necessarily mean that the Mahdi would be an Arab. For instance, Hussein ibn Ali radiallahu anhu married Sharbano, a Persian princess. Similarly, Musa bin Ja'far as-Siddiq married Hamida from Al-Andalus, Spain, who was of Berber origin. Nowadays, many Sayyids or descendants of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam exist in all corners of the world. Another hadith referred to the Mahdi as a man from the descendant of Hussein radiallahu anhu, who would arise from the east. Ibn Kathir mentioned in his tafsir that when the last day approaches, Al-Mahdi would appear in the Orient. He would be supported by some people from the Orient, and they would appoint him Sultan. Muslim ruler, their standards would be black, as the color of the Prophet ﷺ's flag was also black. And in another hadith, it is mentioned that people will come from the east, paving the way for the Mahdi, meaning for his rule. Also, I discovered that the Mahdi's story of becoming a caliph is often compared with the likeness of Omar Abdul Aziz. The ulama have mentioned that Omar Abdul Aziz was initially a governor of Medina and then appointed as a caliph by the unanimous decision of the Majlis Ashura Council. Omar was recognized by the people for his work as a governor and later on was forced to accept the Pledge of Allegiance. Likewise, the Mahdi will also be initially appointed as a sultan or leader by the nation of the East and then will be appointed as the caliph of the Muslim world. I came across a striking revelation. In Qosim's dreams, he is made into the leader of Pakistan by the people of Pakistan before he is called to Mecca. It struck me as odd that this detail had never been mentioned before by many modern-day ulama, despite being noted by the older scholars. And to be honest, this made sense. If the Mahdi was to randomly show up in Mecca one day, how would the people know he's the Mahdi? I mean, what deeds would this person have done to make the people proclaim that this man is indeed the Mahdi? So it makes sense that the Mahdi would have done some work or some deeds in which the people would recognize him by. Now, the belief that the Mahdi would be an Arab is commonly held by many individuals. This belief is often supported by the hadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, in which he says that a man from the people of Medina will flee to Mecca from Medina and will be recognized as the Mahdi. However, upon closer analysis of this hadith, it becomes clear that being from the people of Medina does not necessarily mean that the Mahdi will be an Arab. In the modern era, many people have migrated to other countries for various reasons, such as work or for a better life. Currently, there are already third-generation Saudi-born Indians, Africans, and Pakistani that reside in Medina, and they encompass about 40% of the population. If you subtract the female population from the equation, then that number goes well into the 60% mark. These individuals work, get married, and have children just like any other resident there. Therefore, it is important to recognize that the Mahdi may come from a diverse background and may not necessarily be an Arab. Another point to consider is that there is a variation of this hadith which states that a man from the Banu Hashim will flee to Mecca from Medina. The Banu Hashim is a clan of the Quraysh tribe, to which the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ belonged to. In the modern era, these Banu Hashim have spread all over the world, from as far as North Africa, example King Muhammad VI, Turkey, Abu Bakr Effendi, and even Southeast Asia. It is important to note that these descendants of Muhammad ﷺ are known as Sayyids, and they faced expulsion and exile after his death, as mentioned by Muhammad ﷺ, where he said, "The people of my household will face calamity, expulsion, and exile after I am gone, until some people will come from the east with black banners. They will ask for something good, but will not be given it. Then they will fight and will be victorious. Then they will be given what they had wanted, but they will not accept it, and will give leadership to a man from my family. Therefore, the individual who flees from Medina to Mecca may not be an Arab, but a person from the Banu Hashim, who are people of various backgrounds and ethnicities, and they can trace their lineage to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And as mentioned in another hadith, it was mentioned that the Mahdi would be from the lineage of Fatima radiallahu anha. Nonetheless, I concluded the belief that the Mahdi would be an Arab is not necessarily supported by the hadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. The Mahdi will come from the east, being from among the descendants of Fatima radiallahu anha, and would initially be recognized by his deeds by the nation of the east, who will pave the way for his rule, and they will appoint him as their sultan or leader. And then the Mahdi would be recognized by the entire Muslim Ummah, and his nation, the nation of the east, would